Could you ask for a more beautiful day? 70 degrees. It looks like this. No wind. What is up, you guys? The AK-47's here from Central Texas Powersports. And today on this flawless day, the 2016 Yamaha R6 in this matte silver gray gunmetal. Amazing color with the black rims. Looks amazing. I cannot wait to take this bike out on the road. And we got that thing next. So let's get to this, guys. Sit on it. Oh, it's got that classic Yamaha seating position with that classic Yamaha really wide seat on the R6. As you can see, you got 0 miles. 0 on the trip, 0 on the trip B, 0 on the odometer. Start this thing up. Oh, Yamaha. Turn that high beam on because I can't stand an R6 with one headlight. I just can't do it. Oh, the R6 is such a pretty bike. Such a pretty bike. Let it warm up here and do its thing. So, without any further ado, let us begin the 2016 Yamaha R6 test ride. So a little background for me with R6s. I've ridden R6s before. I've ridden a 2006 R6, I've ridden a 2008 R6, a 2009 R6, and a 2013 R6. But other than that, I haven't ridden a newer R6 than that. Very smooth so far, which I would hope would be the case off of the showroom floor. The clutch, the way it's set up right now, engages really far out. So I have to get used to that. But other than that, I like it so far. The new R6 doesn't rev up as high as the old one, surprisingly. The old one, you know, I know it was a big thing that it redlined at like 18-something thousand RPMs. This one redlines at 16.5. It sounds good. I have never ridden an R6 though with the stock exhaust. I have heard them on, YouTube videos and everything with stock exhaust, but I've never ridden one with stock exhaust. They've all had like, Two Brothers or something like that. The power kicks on a lot earlier in this R6 than it did with the old ones. The old ones, you'd have to be up around 10, 11, 12,000 for the R6 power to kick in. With this one, it kicks in around 7 to 8,000. So it kicks in about 2 to 3,000 RPM sooner, which is very nice. This R6 also seems to feel a lot more comfortable to me than the previous years. The R6 has always had a really, really wide, flat seat, which doesn't really feel too great when you get on it at first. I've always really not liked the R6 seat. I really have not liked it. This one is no different. I don't really like the seat. It is very wide and flat, so the bike feels wider than it is. I mean, obviously, it's a thin bike. It's an R6. It's very thin, but the bike feels wider than it is because the seat is just so wide and flat. So when you sit on it, it's like sitting on a wide triangle of plywood. But not as bad as some Ducati seats, I'll tell you that much though. It's not as bad as some Ducati seats. Performance-wise, and the way it feels, I'm liking it a lot more than the old ones. You still kind of have to rev the crap out of it to get it to really get the power. Yeah, I mean, to really get the power out of it, you still have to kind of rev the crap out of it. But it's a 600, so I'm used to that. 600s are all that way. There are some that are a little bit better than others, but all of them, the power is way up in the RPM range, so you kind of have to ride it all the way up there if you're going to expect to get the performance out of it, like the power out of it. I like the way this bike feels when you flick it back and forth though. It's not super, super easy to do, but it's not effortless, but it's easy. So it's not like it'll just move around on you when you don't want it to, but it doesn't take a lot of effort to move it around. Got an airplane coming in for landing over there at the Georgetown airport. This guy got his 350Z at Lamborghini of Dallas. What kind of dude trades in a 350Z for a Lamborghini? Or some car that they would have at Lamborghini of Dallas? And why would you get a 350Z at Lamborghini of Dallas? Why would you do that? Another one. Airplanes all over the place. The 2016 R6 comes with front and rear 4-way adjustable suspension. So that's a nice feature. And right now, it seems like it's actually set up pretty well. Man, that clutch engage is far out. Far out, bro. That's a lot of gravel right there. Let's not hit that on the way back. Alrighty, so we'll test out the handling of it, at least as much as we can. These are brand new tires and a brand new bike, so I don't want to push it too hard. And it did just rain here pretty hard yesterday. Pretty long as well. For a good while at least. I like the way it turns though. Man, that clutch engage is so far out. You'll hear me like revving it before the clutch actually disengages, which is why you're hearing the rev. Because I'm trying to like get back on the throttle to, you know, to throttle out of the clutch or whatever, but it, you know, the clutch doesn't disengage where I think it's going to. Which, I mean, you can change, you just have to change it. But I'm not gonna take time to do that. Plus, you can slip the clutch on motorcycles all day long and it doesn't matter because they're wet clutches. So, it's not hurting the bike at all or anything. I just gotta shift faster. I'll be fine. Really like the handling. Really like the handling. Previous R6s that I've ridden, like, you know, the ones I listed for you, I have not been impressed with. I honestly went through a point, that's a cat, saw it, I didn't know what it was, so I slowed down. I have not been impressed with any R6 that I've ridden, ever. This one is changing that a little bit. I mean, I haven't, you know, really ridden it very much yet, but other ones I've gotten on R6s and I just hate them. I mean, I really don't like them at all. Everyone before this. Missed that big bump right there. Alright, so I need to get on it like that again and see when exactly that power kicks on, because you feel it. So let me get on it again like that and see when the power kicks in. Okay, so yeah, it's right around 8.5 to 9,000 RPM is when the power kicks on this bike, which is about 2,000 RPM, about 2,000 RPM sooner than it used to. So that's a good thing. You know, coming from, it's very noticeable coming from somebody who rides leader bikes all the time. Like, you know, I ride leader bikes all the time at work. I have my own R1, so I have the power everywhere. And to come to a machine like this, the R6, which all the power, I mean, it's a racing bike. It's designed to race. So all the power is thrown way up high in the RPM range. And when you come down from a leader bike, which has power everywhere, and you come on an R6, it has like no power at all. Or so it feels, you know. It has like no power at all until you hit way up there in the RPM range, and then it just snaps on. So with the leader bike, you're getting, you know, I mean, it still is kind of like an R6 in a way where you kind of get that burst of power, but with a leader bike, you are getting constant power, pretty much. There's not really any point where it really just hits. I mean, it has power everywhere. Now, it does get more powerful as, like, the farther you go up in the RPM range, but it's not like this, where it's like, meh, oh God! You know, it's like, pops on, and then just, you're taken off at that point, you know. So, it has power, you just have to get there. And it has good power, you just have to get there. But this bike, I mean, when you are, you know, on that throttle, and you're going through the RPM range, and you hit that 8,500 mark, it gets real, and it gets real pretty quick. I'll tell you that much. When you hit the 8,500 point, it's almost like Back to the Future. You know, it's like,
my calculations are correct. When this baby hits
8,500 RPM,
you're gonna see some serious shit.
With this bike, it's pretty much the same thing. When you hit 8,500 RPM, it's like bam, you know, and then you just take off like a rocket. Other than the fact that the RPM gauge has changed, or the RPMs have changed or whatever, the dash on this is very similar to other R6s. I don't really think it's changed at all. Still don't have a gear indicator. You don't have a fuel gauge. You know, you don't have outside temperature, none of that crap. So you just have your standard odometer and trip meter, and that's it. Over on the left side, you have your clock, you have your speedometer. Middle, you have your tachometer. Right side, you have all your little lights on the top there. You know, like high beam and oil temperature and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then you have your odometer, trip meters, and your bike temperature, that's it. And your shift light, you have a shift light. Once you get the clutch down though on this bike, like where the clutch engages and disengages though, this bike is very smooth. It is incredibly smooth. Take some nice pictures. Give you all a walk around. Alrighty, look at this baby right here. Ooh, she's pretty. Ooh, she's pretty. You can see where the plastic's getting a little warm from the condensation there. But, oh, it's a beautiful bike. Love that color. Can y'all see that color? Like, look at this color. It's beautiful. It's like this matte gunmetal color. It's all sparkly and it's cool. You get that really nice like matte finish to it that just glides across your hands. Really, really beautiful bike. Picture for the Instagram. Alright. Let's take this picture. Click. How did it turn out? What do you guys think? You like that? I don't know if y'all can see that. Can you see that? I like that. Look how pretty that is. The front brakes are really good on this bike too. It's got a dual 310mm rotors up front. But they feel really good. They give good feedback. So if you know this person, well, that's you. You are now in my video. Black and red Yamaha R1 04 to 06 year model with yellow HIDs. Like bright yellow HIDs. This bike handles highway speeds really well. We're sitting at 7,000 RPM doing 80 miles an hour. Which for a 600 is pretty good, especially when it redlines at 17 or 16 and a half. Alrighty guys, so if you want to come check out this bike, this 2016 R6 in this amazing gunmetal gray color, then come on over to Central Texas Powersports over here. We'll take care of you. Tell them that I sent you, tell them AK or Matthew sent you. Come check this thing out, man. This is a cool looking bike, dude. And it sounds wonderful, rides wonderful. This is the first R6 I haven't hated. I actually like this bike. And I'm not just saying that. I'm very impressed. A very beautiful, beautiful bike. Puts a smile on your face too. Alright guys, that is it for me. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.